And we are going to be speaking with the management of Lemon Tree Hotels. That's the next company on our radar. Now, Lemon Tree has recently signed several new license agreements. We'll talk about, of course, their expansion plans, the outlook for FY24 and more. We have Mr. Patanjali Keswani, Chairman and Managing Director at Lemon Tree Hotels, joining in for that. Mr. Keswani, thank you for joining in. Personally, I can tell you I'm really looking forward to the Keswani property and the one in Manali in Himachal Pradesh. I think those are the new keys that you're adding. But before we talk about the expansion and really sort of, how it adds overall volumes, tell us about occupancy levels. Has the fourth quarter been as good as Q3 or even better? I think you had indicated that you could be at around, 75% occupancy. Are you there or even higher than that?
Well, we have two portfolios. One is the Keys portfolio and one is the Lemon Tree Hotels portfolio. So Lemon Tree is definitely above 75. Keys is a little, well, not little, significantly under that. So on a weighted average basis, we are around 75. About this, our last 2 quarters, you asked me. Basically, we've been repricing. So every quarter, we have tried to reprice our hotels. So occupancy in Q3 wasn't as good as I would have liked. It was about 68, 69%. But from this quarter, it will stabilize now at about 75. So we will get both the price upside and the occupancy upside this quarter.
Okay, all right. Hi, Mr. Keswani. My colleague Surbi is looking forward to some of those new outlets that you're opening up, but it definitely will come at a cost, right? And you said in the past that, 2007, 2008, the average room rent as well was 8,000 plus, and you expect it to move in that direction. So where do you see the average room rent stabilize, let's say, in the coming year, in the coming month? And what is it at currently?
So for Lemon Tree, it is over 6,000, but Lemon Tree itself is an average of Red Fox, Lemon Tree, and Lemon Tree Premier and Aureka. So if I break it down roughly, Keys is at about 3,500. Red Fox is about 4,500. Lemon Tree is about 5,500. And then the Lemon Tree Premiers are obviously about 8,000. And Aureka is about 16,000, 17,000. So you hear, when we talk ARR, it's a blend. But to answer Surbi's question, Keswani itself will take some time to open because these are all hotels under development. But it will be in Aureka, and by then, I think hotel prices by next year will be much, much higher than what you see today. See, keep in mind...
I thought you would say much lower. I thought you would give us some good news. I mean, much higher than what they are currently.
I'm happy I'm traveling at the end of this week.
There go our plans for Himachal.
I want to correct you, folks. Nobody in their right mind will build a hotel today at current prices. It makes no sense. So what you have to really look at is the cost to construct rather than the rates that I think everybody has gotten used to in the last few years.
Okay. So the repricing will keep happening. Okay, I mean, jokes aside, Mr. Keswani, you did mention that in Q4 you will have the upside of, more volumes as well as the repricing. Can you give us some more sense? How much more repricing will we keep on seeing? And are you confident that it will not start crimping demand at some point?
See, demand has been growing on an aggregate basis, north of 10% every year for the last, nearly 2 decades. So it's not a question of demand. It's a question of pricing to capture the right amount of demand. So if demand is growing at 10% and now supply going forward will grow at 5%, then obviously there will be price hikes such that you can fill your hotel and a whole bunch of people will shift down. So people who were staying in 5 stars may stay in 4 stars, 4 stars may stay in 3 stars. But the fact is that the increase in pricing is nearly certain. Not nearly, I would say it is certain. And it will continue, in my opinion, for the next 4 years.
So I just want to understand what's really happening in this whole rooms and accommodation business, not just in terms of hotels, but also homestays, right? I mean, a year and a half ago, that was the big sort of blowout industry, homestays, saffron stays of the world. Now, since the hotel industry has opened up again, has there been a cool-off over there? And what do you think would be the next big trend in the hospitality space?
Well, I'm not a soothsayer, Sonia, but during COVID, a lot of people wanted to, go out. So it was drivable distance. and B, take a just take a break. So in that sense, homestays made a lot of had a lot of demand. Going forward, I think it will be a segment of the transit accommodation business. It will grow. I have a feeling that homestays are an exciting opportunity, providing you can manage very fragmented scale. So you have small villas or equivalents all over the place. How do you manage the logistics is something I myself haven't gotten around, but it's an exciting segment. I myself would happily go and stay in such a place as a break away from the traditional hotel resort.
All right, Mr. Keswani, final question then before we let you go. Earlier we were talking about 800 crores of revenues in FY23. You're well on course and you're definitely going to be, go by the numerically, you'll definitely cross that number. For FY24, given the higher occupancies, better rates per room as well, what's the growth in terms of revenue and the rough margin trajectory?
Well, I have said in my last call to analysts that we will be at least 20% over this year's revenue, and our net EBITDA margin will be north of 50%. So you just take the numbers, we'll be over 1,000 crores and definitely over 500 crores in EBITDA.
Okay, and you've said in the past that the net debt number is not a worry, but where do you see this number stabilizing at? It's only around 1,700 crores. What's the outlook out here?
Well, the net debt will not materially change. We are opening this big hotel in Bombay. In fact, the biggest hotel in India. It's nearly 700 rooms. We opened that in October, and that will open with internal accruals. And that hotel itself has the capacity to give us 200 plus crores of EBITDA. And
by when is that? By when will that come in?
October this year, in 7 months.
So you're looking at the 200 crore plus EBITDA by FY24, I assume?
No, it will be FY25. In FY24, we will open it.
Okay. All right. Okay, we will leave it at that. All the best. This is a dream run for the hotel and hospitality industry, and I hope it continues that way. It's been a long lull for a while.